I'm currently sitting in one of the most rare trucks on the planet. In fact, this thing's so rare that it's one of one in existence, and it's kind of my dream truck. So I'm gonna show you where I got it, why I bought it, how I got it home, and why I decided to leave my regular film crew behind and take my 9 and 7-year-old sons with me to pick up the slack with the cameras. So buckle up, because this is one hell of an adventure and one of the coolest vehicles you'll ever see on this channel. Just dealing with the joys of purchasing old vehicles. I want to show my boys what it's like to be able to fix stuff on the road, and that when something goes wrong, it's not a big deal. The truck ended up needing way more work. The batteries quit holding the charge on us. Had an oil leak under the dash. The transmission air shifter lines are brittle and broken. And here, sitting in the middle of the road for about 5 hours. So that means that we don't have headlights. Hey, who wants to take off?
Me.
One of you can take off, and one of you can land. Let's play paper, rock, scissors. Paper, rock, scissors. All right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yeah.
All right, Bobo's taking off. That's all right, Mackie, you can help him land. So go ahead, jump right up there in the right seat. Banana. Ready to go?
Yep.
Pilot Bo?
Yep.
You ready, bud?
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Can I buckle up?
you gonna be good?
Uh-huh.
All right. Yep. All right, taking a little unconventional means of travel today. Borrowed my buddy's plane because all the commercial flights were just trash. Normally we'd fly commercial with the whole family like this, but it makes more sense to take the jet. So very grateful for good friends who help us out. What are we doing?
Going to pick up a new semi.
Yeah, are you excited?
Yep.
Got about an hour-and-a-half flight time to Phoenix. Pretty quick little flight. This is a Cessna Citation M2. Great little jet, like one of my favorites. A little 5-6-seater family hauler. Got a really nice glass cockpit, tons of power. Just an awesome little plane. So that right there, and you can see on the front too. So, and just follow along and point it at me and Andrew, okay? We just showed up here, and I'm here with my friend Andrew. Andrew is just somebody that you just instantly connect with, click with. He sent me an email, very little information, just I think the subject was like your next truck. And then I had some screenshots of this truck that we're looking at today. And I was like, dude, tell me more. Like, is it on Facebook? Where can I find this thing? And he's like, no, it's not for sale anywhere, but it's mine. And you know, if you're interested, I'd be interested in selling it to you. So just met him, he picked us up over at the airport, and we just rolled up to his spot here to take a look at the truck and see it for the first time. So had a chance to talk with Andrew on the way over. Really cool dude, great story. It's funny when you meet somebody that, you know, complete stranger, and within just a couple of minutes you understand that we're all a lot alike, especially people who like old trucks and kind of have the sickness, right?
Absolutely.
So appreciate the ride over here,
No problem.
We're stoked to see the truck. Let's check it out.
Right on, absolutely.
We obviously have at the back of Andrew's car completely full of all sorts of tools, equipment. Anytime we go pick up an old truck like this, we try to be as prepared as possible. So you name it, we got all in there. And then real quick, I'll grab the camera and show you the film crew. Hard at work, right? Yeah? You guys gonna get this thing done? Get some good shots? Mm-hmm. All right, you keep shooting, we'll go look at the truck. You guys ready to see it? Mm-hmm. Let's go see this. You have something to say? Or you guys wanna make a joke with each other? Just turn around and point at yourselves. Talk to it just like a normal person. So you mechanic, mobile service guy?
Yes, sir.
Do your own thing, work for somebody?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, congrats man, that's awesome. Guys, I got something interesting I want to share with you real quick. I was just sitting here going through some emails, and I got an email from the sponsor of today's video, the company that was supposed to sponsor the video, and they basically wrote me to say that they don't want to sponsor our videos anymore. And the reason for it is because I recently shared some of my political beliefs, and they said, you know, we don't want to be a part of that, so we're not going to advertise with you anymore. And honestly, I'm just like super relieved, and it gives me an opportunity to talk about one of my favorite sponsors of the channel, which is Onyx Off-Road. Onyx Off-Road is a mapping tool that you can get on your phone, and this mapping tool is hands down the most powerful map you've ever had. And the reason for that is because it has different layers that you can put on the map. It shows me all the off-road trails, single track trails, you know, 50-inch wide trails, 60-inch wide trails, high clearance off-road trails, but then it gets deeper. I can look up active wildfires. I can figure out whether it's public land, private land, air quality index, historic wildfire, radar for rain, snowpack levels. If you want to support a company with an absolutely like stellar product and a company that more importantly supports free speech and freedom in general, Onyx Off-Road is the company for you. They are so pumped about having this ad spot that they're actually gonna have me kick off their Black Friday sale, which starts right now and goes through December 4th. You're gonna get 50% off your first year membership of OnX if you either scan the QR code or click the link in my description below, use heavy discount, and boom, you're getting 50% off your 1-year membership. With that said, let's support the good companies, let's support the good guys, let's support the people that make these videos happen for us. And I mean, this is like a killer deal. This is the best deal I've ever seen them do. So click the link or scan the QR code and get your discount now and let freedom ring. So it's probably always been an Arizona truck or somewhere down here?
So on the side of it, you can see some faded like equipment hauling logo from at one point in time.
Yeah. Guys, I'm just seeing the truck now for the first time and I am so freaking pumped. I've seen pictures and I've been staring at pictures, like zooming in as much as I can, but until you see something like this in person, it's a totally different animal. And it's already so much cooler than I was expecting. Everything about this truck is just unique, proud, big, but also just kind of like compact too. It's like a mini semi, even though there's not much, you know, mini about it. This is a Ford L8000, which is basically like the early version of the F650. It's kind of their medium duty truck. And you'll see it's kind of tucked tight in here right now, but we'll pull it out in a second. But what I really, you know, liked about this truck is the fact that it's got the 5th wheel hitch. It still has enough of a deck space on the rear for a bed, so you can, you know, haul, you know, other supplies and stuff. Got regular trailer hitch, so you can pull pretty much any kind of trailer with it. But just look at this thing. Look how rad this is. So the way they built this is they took the front cab of a L8000 and then they grabbed another one and spliced it on backwards. So suicide doors. Oh, look at that crispy interior. Just plush. So we're gonna dig into this real quick, get it started, and then figure out how to get it out of here. But I'm already so freaking pumped. What do you boys think?
It's awesome.
You can be comfortable back there for the next 12 hours?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Bo, here's your camera. All right, firing it up. She's a little grumpy right now, a little fighting us on starting a little bit. Just look at this thing. One of the craziest looking, coolest trucks. And by the time I get this back and actually get it like cleaned up, I'm actually thinking about maybe putting it on a whole new frame with a new drivetrain, so it's more modern. Or I'll work with what we've got here and just put a new power plant in it. But I want this thing to be restored to its former glory, because at some point this truck was literally the king of the road. Everything about it is just, because it's not necessarily built as like a commercial semi to haul stuff, although it could. Somebody built this as like their personal weekend RV hauler. And so once we get started here, I'll show you, but it's got a Cat 3208 engine, which is not my favorite motor, but not also a terrible motor. It's just not a big powerhouse, and you know, they're old and antiquated and outdated, so nobody's really building stuff for them anymore. So probably get rid of that just so we have a little bit more reliability. But what I really love is it has this Eaton 13-speed transmission, which is really rare to find in like a medium duty truck like this. It's built much more like an actual heavy duty semi. So we'll get some juice hooked up to it here to the batteries, because it's turning a little bit slow, and get it pulled out. Grab this camera real quick and show you. So obviously this is a very custom truck since it's been extended into a crew cab. So a lot of the stuff you're seeing in here is homemade, which is why you'll see carpet for the headliner. You'll see a piece of plywood dash. So what's crazy is it's got a lot of big truck parts, like a 13-speed transmission, and then it's got the small truck, like doors and small truck. Just, it's like a mix between a pickup truck and a semi truck, and it definitely needs some love. But the bones here are incredibly good and so rare, so unique. It's got a table back here. Somebody used this again like an RV hauler. So I'm gonna see if I can first of all find the key. All the keys look like you got the key over there. So we're gonna fire it up here and make sure it starts, and then pull it out here, and then start doing all the kind of, you know, inspections and making sure it's roadworthy and good to go. Just needed the fuel pump primed a little bit, got a little bit of air in there, but sounds good now. Pulled the truck out, found that had an oil leak under the dash, which you may be wondering, like, why is it leaking oil under the dash? Well, these old trucks, for the oil pressure gauge, they would run just a, literally an oil line, a small little like line that big from the engine up to a gauge, and that pushes against the gauge and tells you how much oil pressure you have, and the line was just brittle and cracked. So we're reusing some of these parts, gonna put that line back in so that it's not dripping oil on my feet like it was right there, because nobody wants an oily foot the whole way home. So we'll get that handle, so I got oil there. There you go. Okay, making some progress here. We had a pretty good air leak, and air is the one thing we're not gonna mess around with because, well, we're not gonna be unsafe with, because that's our brakes and everything. Hold it up a little bit. So I just found the transmission air shifter lines are brittle and broken, and they're just pissing air out of the manifold, which means that's why we're losing all the air out of the tank. So we'll be able to get those fixed and should stop that air leak for the most part, and then feel much more comfortable. Then we'll be able to have better brakes and everything will feel much, much better. So we're gonna head over to the parts store, get some new airlines. Hard part is they're just in a really tricky spot, like way back in there. You can kind of see, but the good news is we found them, and now we just gotta replace them. A little more work than we were planning on, but it's all part of the job. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All right, little update for you guys. Dirty camera lens, we're gonna go ahead and do one of those first. So truck ended up needing way more work than anticipated. I kind of knew this was going to be part of the adventure. I just didn't know how roadworthy this was. Andrew had driven it before from Kingman, but he didn't drive it with the transmission working correctly, and there's a bunch of stuff that needed work. So we're here at Fleet Pride. I've done like 3 hours worth of work onto the truck that we didn't film because my cameraman is a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old, and they're not necessarily fully prepared for this. So anyways, we're getting a bunch of different parts and pieces, airlines, all kinds of stuff. I got my shifter here to get the correct airlines for it. So then from here, run over to Napa to get some more parts, and then back to the truck. All right, we had some technical difficulties with the camera here. I believe Bocam is back in action, right? So just hit the stop record button on top. Just hit it once. Look who's filming. We got a new camera guy right now, Mr. Macaroni. Listen, first of all, these boys right here have been very patient. Hold on, let Mac try real quick. We've been here sitting in the middle of the road for about 5 hours. We just replumbed all of the brakes and the shift linkage with new airlines, making a big difference. Park brakes is working now. We're gonna adjust the brakes, make sure those are working. The transmission shifter should be working now. We did like 2 or 3 days worth of work in like 4 hours. Really solid group of guys here. Real quick, I want to introduce you to the gang that's been helping us. We got, obviously you guys met Andrew earlier. Andrew's the man, very helpful. Introduce yourself.
Hey, this is Robert. Yeah.
Robert runs a Instagram page, Old Ford Crew Cabs, and as you can imagine, he focuses on old Ford Crew Cabs. He's been here all day supporting the effort, hanging out. Follow his page, I'll link it in the description below. These are good people, been out here. They didn't have to be here helping, but they were. Tristan has a mobile mechanic business, and what's the name of it?
Dust Devil Mobile Repair.
Dust Devil Mobile Repair. This kid right here is legit. He's got his service truck right here, and he absolutely kicks ass. So if you're down in Arizona and you need somebody to come mobile repair your truck or whatever it is, I recommend him because he has been on the ball. One of my favorite parts about doing this is just meeting people like this that are just so down to help, and just good, awesome people, good work ethic. Right, Mackie?
Yep.
You want to do a walk around to the truck?
Yep.
Okay guys, I got an update for you. It is currently about 6:30 at night. Daylight savings time is here, and now it gets dark earlier. We've been working on the truck for about 6-7 hours now, and I think we got it dialed in. It was nowhere near ready to go when we got here. Had to do a ton of work, had to chase down a bunch of different little gremlins, but I think we've got it figured out. Got the transmission shifting the way it's supposed to. Tristan got the brakes dialed in. I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to show you guys more of the process of like under there working. It just was really difficult, again, with the film crew that I've got. Which, by the way, are the cutest little film crew you've ever seen. I'll show you. How are we doing, guys?
Good.
You guys ready to go?
Yeah.
Those boys have been so patient and so good today, just literally playing out here on the blacktop. We got headlights, which is huge. Some running lights. I was gonna go through and like try to replace all the lights, but since I'm gonna go through and probably redo this whole truck anyways, there's no sense throwing a bunch of money at it, so I'm just gonna throw the bare minimum at it to be able to get it home. I feel much better about driving it home now with the way it is. But you can see she's looking pretty sweet. So now we're gonna head over to Buckeye, which is about probably 45 minutes west of here. We're gonna grab the trailer, probably head towards Flagstaff, get 3 or 4 hours up the road, then maybe call it a night, and then get on the road first thing in the morning. But man, this truck is sick. Like, just look at it. Look how freaking beautiful it is. I'm excited. What do we think, boys? Feeling good? You got your tacos, you got Wi-Fi, and we got the open road. You ready to party? How far can we drive tonight?
We got our semi.
We got our semi, that's right. So we just came over here to Buckeye because as part of this deal with the truck, I purchased a 53-foot car hauler along with a special little project truck that I think you guys are really gonna like. My first little dabble into the mini truck world. This truck right here, obviously it's got a 5th wheel hitch, set up for this big ass car hauler. Andrew, I love that truck. I freaking love that truck, dude.
It's an amazing truck.
Bro,
it's
it
so
is,
fun,
it's like just goes.
Isn't it amazing?
Just goes down the road, just smooth.
When you fine tune it and get all the bugs worked out, this thing is going to be the cowboy Cadillac.
100%.
Sure.
Look at this bad boy. This, my friends, is a Mazda Sundowner. Got Dodge dually wheels. Just the most ridiculous setup you've ever seen. Bought it with the old package here. So we got to figure out how to get that truck unloaded, and then we got to get this truck unloaded. As you can see, mini trucks is kind of Andrew's thing. You guys saw in one of our recent videos, we had that really low rider truck that was like cut in half. Well, that was a Ford Courier. I had never dealt with one before, and then we bought that one. And then literally just like a week later, I meet Andrew, and turns out he's a big connoisseur of them and happens to have one that I'm gonna buy. Well, the Ford Courier and Mazda Sundowner is like the original Ford Ranger. It was like Ford's first small truck. I'm gonna have some fun with this guy. Look at that, big old fat dualies. Just the goofiest looking little truck in the world. And honestly, I might even just leave it just like that. Also, you guys know that I'm probably lying and I won't just leave it just like that. Give a little update.
We just got a new semi. Where were we? Wait, we just woke up at the hotel room. Hopefully someone didn't break into our semi. We had to go get a hotel because it was getting too late, and we're about to get breakfast, so we're gonna leave.
By the time we got the trailer hooked up and started making our way back towards home, the battery or the alternator on the truck started dying. I'm not sure which one. Probably both. So it wasn't safe to drive through the night because the headlights just kept on getting more and more dim. So instead, we grabbed a hotel here just outside Buckeye, Arizona. Decided to deal with problems this morning rather than last night. So I think we just got to throw some batteries in it, potentially an alternator, hopefully not. We shouldn't need as much power this morning because obviously we don't need lights. So we're gonna go toss some batteries in it, which we have, although we probably have to walk to AutoZone because we don't have the right cables to connect it. Once we get the batteries hooked up, we should be able to fire that thing up and get on the road. But first, continental breakfast, right, boys?
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Right over there. All right, just dealing with the joys of purchasing old vehicles and trying to drive them across the country. Last night, the batteries quit holding the charge on us. I'm not sure if the alternator was dying or if these batteries are just old. You can see the date on there. It's 2021. Yesterday, we bought some new batteries at Fleet Pride. Got those there. Basically, just need to replace those batteries with these new ones, but they're different clamp styles. These have the round terminal tops. These have just the lug studs like these guys. What I'm gonna do is steal the cables off of that so that I can hook those batteries up in here, and that way we don't have to walk like 5 blocks down to AutoZone, which I wouldn't mind doing, not a big deal, but I'd rather get the truck started and get on the road. And since we have what we need on us, make it happen. That's one of the things about doing trips like this is you kind of gotta have parts and pieces that you can harvest here and there and get what you need with what you've got. And luckily, we've got what we need on here. I'm gonna give the camera to my trusty cameraman, Bobo, and he's gonna document this process for you.
Oh,
there you go.
shoot.
Come back here.
Okay, let's.
So we're gonna take this.
It just turned off.
It's on. It's still flashing. As long as it's blinking red, it's good. Yeah. So the reason I'm doing this, guys, I've already mentioned this, is I want to show my boys what it's like to be able to fix stuff on the road, and that when something goes wrong, it's not a big deal. Anything can go wrong, and we can fix it. There's always a solution. Solution is never to panic though. So that's one thing that I was taught at an early age. And so when you know, things go bad or things don't work out as planned, it doesn't matter. You just keep smiling and you just keep on working your way through, right, bud?
Uh-huh.
Do I ever panic?
No.
Yeah, you better make sure we can get up.
Nothing we made broke.
Hold on. Do you ever panic?
Sometimes.
But not very much though, because
Yeah.
you learned from me that everything's gonna be okay, right?
Yep.
All right, so we got the cord that we needed. So now we're gonna jump down here and pull these old batteries out. This should be a pretty quick little swap. Pop this dead battery off.
Yep.
And now this battery come right out.
Could be better.
That battery's just old and tired.
Yep.
Is
Just happened.
made a spark.
You tap them together.
Yep.
I don't want to see that again.
You want to see that again? It's not really good for it.
Oh.
What I like to do when I'm disconnecting batteries, and there's multiple different cables and I don't want to lose track of which cable went where, I'll pull them all off one side at a time, and then we'll take and zip tie all the ends together so we remember which ones go where. This one's a pretty simple battery setup, so it shouldn't be too hard to remember what goes where. See how when you disconnect them, you can maybe lose track of what goes where. Pull this guy off, pull this guy off, pull this guy off. We zip tie them together. We got our positive, we got our negative. This is the negative cable that we're replacing.
You want to grab the other one?
It's pretty heavy.
I'll try.
Clamp that on somewhere.
I'm trying. Oh, there you go. Oh.
Let me help you out.
I don't know how to
It's
get
just a
out of
weird
it.
angle. Kind of just gotta drag it out. All right, cameraman. Black is.
Negative.
Yep. And red is.
Positive.
Let's hope these batteries got a good charge. Sure hope they do. Like a little spark, which is kind of weird. Boom, baby. We got juice. You okay, bud? You okay? Let's see. I think you just bit your cheek. Oh, you lost a tooth.
I did?
Yeah. We just gave Mac a shack gummy and literally just lost a tooth. All right, we are loaded, fired up, ready to roll. Gonna make one last pit stop here at Circle K. Get the boys some road snacks. You guys know what you want? When he says sure, he means he has absolutely no clue, and he's gonna sit there and try to make up his mind for 45 minutes because this guy right here has a hard time making decisions sometimes. Just got to Page, Arizona. Moving along pretty good. We got about probably 300 miles into the belt with the truck, maybe a little bit more, and she's running great. Boys are having a good time, but it's getting dark, and we still have about 6 hours to go till we get home, and it's gonna be all through the dark, all through the night. We're stopping here at AutoZone to grab a voltmeter to check our battery voltage to see if the alternator is good or the batteries are good, whatever's going on there. We still didn't ever get an answer on whether the alternator is good. Gonna check some voltage real quick just to make sure that they are actually charging. Then we'll go to Walmart, grab some pillows for the boys so they can snooze on the way home. Then the next stop from here is we're gonna go over the Glen Canyon Dam, which is one of my favorite places in the world. And it's gonna be a good night, right, boys?
Yeah.
2 hours later.
Things got interesting since the last little clip here. We got a bad alternator. I searched every part store in town. Granted, it's Saturday night, so most places are closed. I tried to mix and match parts and pieces. Nothing was gonna work. It's a really weird size. That means that we don't have headlights because this whole truck runs on like old incandescent bulbs for the trailer lights and everything, which just consume a ton of energy. If I kept the lights on, even with the new batteries that we have, we probably only would have had about 2 hours with the lights before everything went dead. I got a real hillbilly with it, and I'll show you. this setup right here. Went to AutoZone, the only place in town that had a generator. It's super loud, but generator running with an extension cord running into this box right here. And in this box, I've got a giant, like, shop home battery charger. And it is just gonna be sitting here cranking away for the next several hours. I have to reset it every 2 hours because the timer on it won't hold. We're probably rolling in at like 2 a.m., but it's an adventure. The whole purpose of this is to be creative and solve problems as we go, and we didn't anticipate having to hook up a whole generator, but literally it was the only solution. I looked at every single alternator possible, tried to fix one we have, thought about adding more and more batteries, but with how much current the old lighting system on this truck draws, the only solution was to put a little trickle charger on it. And it's actually not a trickle charger, it's the biggest charger I could find. And that should do it. So we got lights, we got power, we got pretty much everything, other than I just realized we don't have windshield wipers and it started drizzling. You guys are supposed to be asleep.
20 minutes later.
Remember how I said storm is moving in and I didn't have windshield wipers? Well, I didn't know it was going to be a snowstorm, but now it's snowing and my windshield is that. So that, coupled with my really dim lights, is making it to the point where I just don't quite feel comfortable. I lost enough visibility where it's like, nope, this isn't safe. So we pulled over. I'm gonna mess with the windshield wipers and then clean the windows a little bit. Got my boys in there, so I'm obviously not gonna risk it. And up until this point, I felt comfortable with my visibility, but now I don't.
Eventually.
Got the windshield wipers working. They were disconnected from behind the dash here because this is the valve, which has a little air leak. But I was able to get it connected enough to be able to, well, of course they won't work now. They were working a second ago. Even though there's a little bit of an air leak, I can deal with that for now while I drive through the snow and nasty weather. Got windshield wipers fixed, windshield's cleaned, just in time for the snow to pretty much stop, so that's great timing. I'm sure there's a little bit more up the road though. When we were in Page having battery issues, I was like, you know what, the viewers don't need to see every little like thing that goes wrong. I have a tendency to do that when problems pop up. Like, you guys don't see a lot of the stuff in all of our videos, so I just want to fix the problem and move on. But on this one, the whole point of this is to show you everything that can go wrong on a trip like this and what we do to fix it. So I gotta be patient, pull out the camera, and show you guys exactly what's going on and what I'm doing to fix it. So I'm sure this isn't the last thing. I'm hoping there's not too many more because I need to get the boys home and 4.5-5 hour drive ahead of us. Got that fixed. We'll be back on the road here in a minute and I'll let you guys know what pops up next. Came home to snow. I was not anticipating this, but I also didn't really check the weather. I just kind of been used to the fall weather and didn't realize that it was going to snow. Last 2 hours were real weird. On the freeway, it was just pure snow. Windshield wipers decided to quit working again. Barely made it up the hill here to the house. Definitely shouldn't have brought the truck home. Should have just taken it to the shop and swapped out trucks, but it was late and we were tired and just wanted to come straight home. This old Arizona truck is not sure what the hell's going on. Normally, I don't really care about the weather because all my vehicles are well equipped and highly capable of whatever conditions are ahead of us. Just kind of drove this truck as if that was the case. Overall, I love it. It's incredible. Such a cool truck and very capable. And the fact that it just went 600-700 miles cross country after having not been driven for such a long time got me impressed.